What's going on, everybody? I'm Jerry, and today we got my divisional round playoff predictions. If you watched my predictions last week on the wild card weekend, that did not go well. I did not do very well. I only got four wrong. I got four wrong. I did not get anything right in the NFC. So you can see moving forward, my picks, you would think that they wouldn't matter very much. But we're going to do this again because I think we had Cowboys Packers. Packers just murder the Cowboys. We had Rams Lions was a close game. Could have fought either way for who should have won. There was the offsides penalty that was called or I believe false start when it should have been offsides, and that penalty helped the Lions. But then the very, very controversial that didn't get enough time talked about to me, the pass interference on Puka Nakua that also could have been late hit or hitting a defenseless receiver because he got hit again from the side, helmet to helmet after that. So why there was no penalty called, I don't know. It seemed like the Lions fans maybe helped make that call, or maybe the refs were just buying into that. But that ended up ruining the game. Would have been 15-yard penalty. Rams would have had the ball at about the 25-yard line and be able to run out the clock and make the game-winning field goal. But Lions end up winning that one. Eagles, Buccaneers. The Buccaneers just smoked the Eagles. I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to be a close game, but I am not a big fan of the Buccaneers, so I didn't see that going the way it went. Texans, Browns. I didn't see that going the way it did either. I thought for sure the Browns could at least keep it close, not get dominated by C.J. Stroud and the rest of that Texans team. I think we do need to put some respect on the receivers' names in that room. Tank Dell obviously injured, but Dalton Schultz being a big help over there, as well as Nico Collins. He's a great receiver. Let's not forget that C.J. Stroud does have one of the lowest accurate pass percentages in the league. So we got to keep that in mind, but he's doing it over there. I don't want to discredit him. He's doing amazing for a rookie, and I love it. I didn't care who won that game. Chiefs win. I wasn't really too surprised there. I did kind of buy into the Miami not being able to do too well in the cold, and it ended up being what happened. And it was kind of the same thing for the Bills-Steelers game. The Bills just kind of ran away with it, and the Steelers made a bit of a comeback, make it one score, but the Bills end up just taking over and winning. But that's enough about everything that I did wrong last week. Let's get into this week and what actually happened, and who we think is going to move on moving forward. I think the finals can end up looking the same, and I'm going to show you how. So we end up having, obviously, we just changed the outcomes on the outside, so you can see that. But 1, 2, 3, and 4 seed all playing in the AFC. You've got the Ravens playing the Texans. I still think the Ravens can win that game. Honestly, in the AFC, if the Bills beat the Chiefs, I'll be happy with any of those three teams winning the Super Bowl. And I do think the winner of that Ravens-Texans game could be the Super Bowl winner. I'm not confident at this point. I have to see how the 49ers play because it really does bother me. Yes, it's nice to have a bye week to get healthy and rest up, or maybe prepare even more for the team you're going to play against. But even then, it worries me that week off could hurt. So I'm taking the Ravens, though. Bills, Chiefs, I am pretty confident that the Bills can win. It is at home for the Bills. Mahomes hasn't really played many away playoff games, or if any. I'm sure he has played some, but and I don't know what the records are for that, but I have a lot more faith in the Bills and Josh Allen at this point. I think the key thing for this game is if that Chiefs defense can slow down Josh Allen, and if the Chiefs offense can be effective like it was. And I think they need to lean a little bit more on the run game, and hopefully, I think Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, and Pacheco will all need to have a decent game. I think even if one of them has a bad game, they probably lose. You'll likely get Gabe Davis back for the Bills, and I believe Teron Johnson and some other players were injured on that team. So I think, if they come back, that could help them moving forward. So I'm taking the Bills. 49ers, Packers. Packers, I kind of think of the same way as the Texans at this point, just because I was not expecting that much from the Texans, was not expecting that much from the Packers. So I think against the spread, I want to say it's still like 7.5, or maybe it's even more. It might even be 10. It's a big spread in that game. So I definitely could see the Packers winning it, or at least covering if you're betting the game. But I do think the 49ers win, and they have just completely murdered teams in the past. So I could be completely wrong there, but For some reason, I feel like the Packers could at least keep it close, especially with how they've been playing. But I'm taking the 49ers. And then Lions, Buccaneers. I don't think the Lions have a chance at winning an NFC championship if and when they make it there. I think they have now the easiest path. I said last week that I think the Cowboys did because I thought the Packers were a borderline, should even be in the playoffs team. Obviously, they're the seventh seed, but I didn't think they really were deserving of it. So now that they just completely murdered the Cowboys, they've kind of changed my opinion for that. But now the Lions play the Buccaneers, who beat an Eagles team that just lost, and went from 10 and they were 10-1 and went to, I think it was 11-6 to finish the season, and they had the easiest schedule through those last 6 games. So I don't think that win from the Buccaneers to me was impressive enough because I don't think the Eagles are playing good football. You could see in that game they weren't able to tackle well. The defense was hideous, and the offense didn't play very well. And I think Jalen Hurts finally starting to struggle, and we have to start asking, are the Eagles done? Because Kelsey's out of there, and I think he's a big part of that offense. I think he's more important than people give him credit for. So I think that's going to hurt. Lane Johnson isn't getting any younger. So there's a lot going on over there. I'm interested to see what happens moving forward. But I am going to take the Lions over the Buccaneers. Just seems right to me. I think the Lions are playing better all around football, although I think their defense still needs to improve. I think the Buccaneers, I don't think they play at a talented enough team. That leads into a similar playoffs to what I predicted, at least moving forward, with the Ravens-Bills part is the same. 49ers now play the Lions. I don't think the Lions can beat the 49ers. I truthfully don't think that the Lions would beat many teams that are in the playoffs right now. Obviously, they beat the Rams in a close one. I think they'd probably beat the Buccaneers and the Eagles, so I guess that's like half the teams. But I don't think the Lions can beat the Packers right now, and I don't think the Lions could beat the Cowboys right now, just with the 49ers, of course, because I'm picking 49ers to win. So I think the 49ers end up in the Super Bowl. I think the Ravens could end up taking down the Bills. I thought about putting the Bills to win, but with how it is, the Bills have been playing good football, but I don't think it's good enough all around to beat the Ravens. The Ravens, I kept trying to I was like, oh, well, what if Josh Allen, he's going to throw a couple picks, but he's also going to score? What if that Bills defense kind of figures out Lamar Jackson? I'm like, who has? Nobody's figured him out. So I'm taking the Ravens, ends up in the same Super Bowl with the 1 seeds in there, which is easy to do, obviously, when they didn't play last week and there was a shit ton of upsets. But I'm still doing the 49ers. I think I'm going to buy into the conspiracy theory of the colors. I mean, look, the Ravens are on the bottom, the 49ers are up top there. That's how the Super Bowl logo was made, and that is how the Super Bowl is going to be. And that is going to result in the... Camera's probably shaking. San Francisco 49ers still. Yeah, I didn't change the graphic one bit. I'm really confident in the 49ers, and I kind of teased you a little bit with the Ravens earlier, said I think that could be the case. I think the chances right now, if I had to pick 3 teams, I would probably pick 49ers, Ravens, Texans, probably in that order for who's going to make it there. It just seems right to me. I think there's a lot of weak teams in the NFC now. Having the Buccaneers, Lions, and Packers are the only teams left to play the 49ers. It doesn't really seem right. It seems like the 49ers are guaranteed Super Bowl, but I think the competition's been better in the AFC, and I think if the Texans keep it close against the Ravens, that probably it kind of would lean more towards maybe the 49ers being the winners. But if the Ravens just somehow murder the Texans or other way around, Texans, that could change my whole opinion about it. But I'm taking the 49ers again. I think it definitely could change. I'm very excited for these playoffs. I had a lot of bad picks, and I really wanted a Joe Flacco Browns versus the Ravens game. I was really hoping for that more than anything. But I'm happy for the Texans, CJ Stroud. Love what's going on over there. But I think the playoffs are going to be exciting. As a Bears fan, fuck the Packers. Like, if we can just get the Packers out of there, that would be great. So let's have the 49ers get the Packers out, end that whole mess. I don't think the Buccaneers or the Lions, are either team. I don't think is deserving of making it to an NFC Championship. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, moving forward, I'm hoping. I'm hoping for 49ers. I'm going to ride this 49ers train as long as I can. We'll have to see what happens. Tune in next week. I've got some other videos planned, and I was feeling a little under the weather last week, so that's why there hasn't been as many videos. But I do have. I'm doing a video for each NFL team. So all 32 teams are going to get what they need to do to be fixed. So subscribe for that. That's coming out soon. I'm going to go week by week, and in every video, if you comment down below, and you can comment on this one too, comment what teams you want me to do first. I have an order that I was going to do, but if somebody comments for a specific team, I'll expedite it. So go ahead, let me know what you think of that down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day.